This is a video about Social Studies Weekly. If you're not familiar with how to use the online version, we are going to start with week 10. So remember, you can go to Clever through the school website. And when you go to Clever, find Social Studies Weekly, and it's going to take you here. Okay. Scroll down to week 10. And when you click on week 10, it's going to take you to the online version of the newspapers that we would use in class. You'll see all the different articles are listed on the left-hand side. So you could go from one article to the next by clicking on the article title, or if you go down to the end of the article, you can click on next and it'll take you to the next one. Sometimes there's little games that are embedded in it. Sometimes there's not. I did not see the crossword puzzle as I was going through here the first time, and I'm hoping that maybe I missed it, but I did put a copy of the crossword puzzle in your notebook in the social studies section. So that way you can still go and work on the crossword if you want to. You might just have to put it on a separate sheet of paper or something, but the crossword is there. So once you have gone through the articles, and if you're not familiar with the online version of the newspaper, it will read it to you. So you can either read it yourself, or if you click on this play button,
in 1776, a new nation was born. When the Revolutionary War was...
Right here is where you can change the speed of the voice that's reading to you, so you can make it either faster or slower. And then there's a video that goes along with every article, so you can click on watch the video. And it's just usually a short little introduction or almost like a summary of the section you're about to read. These are some extra readings that you can go through if you want to. But after you finish going through all of the articles and you've done your reading, the only assignment that you have that you're going to do in Social Studies Weekly that is not in Teams is you need to click on Take the Test. So if your teachers have used Social Studies Weekly in the past, you should be pretty familiar with this. There's normally only 10 to 12 questions. For the most part, they're all multiple choice. So I'm going through here. They're all multiple choice, it looks like. And what's cool about doing it online is it will read the questions to you also.
Use the article Looking to the West and your knowledge of social studies to answer the following. Question. Which important landform came with the Louisiana Purchase?
Okay, so it'll read the question to you. It'll read the answer choices to you. You're more than welcome to use that feature if you want to. Okay, once you get down to the bottom, you will click on Finish Test and it will submit your test to me, but it'll grade it right then. So you'll know exactly what you made right then. And don't stress out if you don't do very well. I can just go in and reassign it to you and you can do it again. Okay. But one important thing to show you, let's say that we're working on this first question. I'm not even reading it right now, just for these purposes. Okay. I just want to show you how it will save your answer choices for you. Okay. So I'm going to click on C, but I want to go back and I want to read. And I want to make sure that that's the right answer that I want to pick. So if I click on Publications, and for me, I have to choose which one I want. So I'm going to go back to our 5th grade publication, go back into week 10, and I could go to, say I needed Looking to the West. I'm going to click on Looking to the West. I'm going to read there, see if I can find my answer that I need. Go back to Take Test. And my answer that I selected is still there. Okay, so you can go from the test back to the articles. You can go back and forth, and it's going to save your answers. The only thing that you have to be prepared for is you can see the questions aren't numbered. Okay, so that means that sometimes the questions might get jumbled up. They might all, question number 1 was all of a sudden question number 2, which is fine. Okay, but it will save your answer. So I don't want you to think that you have to read and then answer the questions by memory. You can go back and forth, and you can go back and check the article and use that for your reference. Go back in and find the answer, find the text evidence. Okay. Also, with every question, this says use the map. Okay, so you're going to use the map that was in one of the articles. You can go back and look at that map, but really you don't need to. It's just telling you to use the map. This question says use the article looking to the west. Use the article a new country heads west. Use the article President Thomas Jefferson Anti-Federalist. So the questions tell you exactly which article it's coming from. Okay, so I encourage you to really take your time when you're reading, take your time when you're answering the questions, go back in and find the text evidence, because even though it seems like a lot of information, and I know sometimes this can seem kind of overwhelming, the answers are right there. You're not having to do really any inferencing at all. Maybe every once in a while there's a question that involves inferencing, but pretty much the answers are right there. Okay, and you can go back and find them. So remember, you'll click on Finish Test. It'll send it to me. It'll show you what you made. And then if we need to retake it, I can always go in and reassign it to you, and you can take it again, okay, and get the better of the 2 grades. So that is Social Studies Weekly. The other thing that you're going to do with Social Studies Weekly is in your notebook. I put it in your notebook and I put it in your assignments. So in your class notebook, you have a Social Studies tab, and you will see Social Studies Weekly, Week 10. You have an assignment that is due Thursday, August 20th. Okay, so it's in your notebook, and my internet's working kind of slow, but it's also in your assignments. So when you go into assignments, it's going to bring up a copy that you can edit, okay? And you can insert text boxes and type into the text boxes and submit it to me that way, okay? There's something else in the Social Studies tab that I put in there for you that, remember, if it's not in the assignments list, if it's not under that assignments tab, then it is just notes. It is there for just a reference for you right now. We might need it as a reference in the future, because here's the deal. We're all starting virtual. We're not going to let this notebook go to waste. Okay. So it's very possible that we will just continue with this online notebook as the year goes on. Okay. So you have regions of the United States. That's something we'll need later. And then this is where I put the crossword puzzle for you. Okay. So it's not for a grade, but it's just something that I thought you might want to do. Okay. Remember, a lot of these answers that go in the crossword puzzle can help with the actual questions. The 2 are very much related. Okay. So that is Social Studies Weekly. You won't have an assignment the first 2 days for Social Studies, but we will start on the week of August 17th with Social Studies. The only thing that's different is we're not going to start with week 1 and just go in order, which I know sounds very silly because we should learn history in order. But the way that we're doing it right now is we are using the Social Studies lessons that most closely match the lessons that we're doing in reading. Okay. So, for example, both your reading lesson and your Social Studies lesson this week involve cause and effect. Okay. So that's how the 2 are connected. Okay, well, I just wanted to make sure that you knew how to use your social studies weekly. But again, any questions that you may have, please let me know. See you later.